Do you find that sometimes when you start a writing or study session that sometimes you encounter some challenging or negative emotions? Maybe you're sometimes feeling some stress, some anxious feelings, maybe some feelings of self-doubt. Maybe it's, I'm not sure I can do well on this test, this paper, this assignment. Maybe it's questions, have I read enough? Do I know enough? Or perhaps it's something along the lines of so-and-so from my cohort or my class is, really organized and put together, and I just have this feeling that they're likely going to do better than me on the scholarship application, the test, the assignment, that kind of thing. If you're a graduate student or faculty member, maybe it's, what if the paper I'm writing gets rejected by the journal that I'm submitting it to? Rest assured, you're not alone. These types of challenging thoughts and emotions are pretty common. The thing that we all know is that when we're experiencing these types of emotions and thoughts, it can really negatively impact our focus and our productivity. So this is an academic skills video where I share with you a strategy that I've been using of late to help myself overcome those little moments of stress and anxious feelings and self-doubt. Because it's human to experience these types of things. My hope is that you might also try out this strategy and let me know if you find that it helps. The strategy I'm about to describe was inspired by this book here, High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. So in this book, Brendon describes habits that help people to perform well across a variety of fields of endeavor. You might be wondering, who is a high performer? Who was selected for this study? If you'd like to learn more about the methods of this particular study, I invite you to, again, check out the book. For now, you might like to know that for the purposes of this study, Brendon and his team defined high performance as succeeding to perform beyond sort of the norms consistently over the long term. And you can find a quote on that matter on page 14 of the book. So one of the things that Brendon and his team found in this study was that high performers have a tendency to try to calibrate how they want to feel when they're going into a particular situation or setting. And you can read more about this on pages 78 through 79 of this book. They found that high performers describe the feelings that they want to experience before entering a setting or situation, as well as the sort of feelings that they wanted to take away from that experience as well. The study found that high performers have a tendency to articulate to themselves what type of energy and feelings they want to experience before they go into the situation, as well as sort of the energy and feelings they want to take away from the situation. So they go in with sort of a stronger sense of these things, and that's not to say that they're not going to encounter some challenging emotions such as anxious feelings or stress or self-doubt. They're sort of approaching it from the angle of knowing, these are the types of ways that I want to feel and the energy that I want to experience, regardless of the types of emotions that I encounter as I go through the situation or scenario. And if you come across those emotions, Brendon asks, is there any way that you can try to transform or redefine some of that energy? Now, I realize that that could be a more difficult task in some circumstances. Like, for example, say that the challenging thoughts or feelings are linked to having a mental health challenge or mental health related disability. In general, though, I think this idea of attempting to transform or redefine energy that stems from, challenging thoughts, I think that's a great suggestion to try out. So last thing from Brendon basically says if you're doing these types of things, it's going to help you get into the zone. And what is the zone? A place where you can truly focus and do your best. Which made me think about my writing and studying sessions. So what I've done is I've created a document where I've listed all the types of feelings and energy that I want to experience over the course of my writing and studying sessions, as well as the type of energy and feelings that I want to take away from those sessions. I'm regularly reviewing this document before I start writing or studying, and let me tell you, I am loving this practice. It takes mere moments, but I find it really helps me to focus and achieve clarity and just really enjoy what I'm doing. So what feelings and energy am I going after in my writing and study sessions? Well, let me show you my document. The first feeling that I am going after is curiosity. I want to feel a strong desire to learn more about what I am learning and advance my skill set in ways that will enable me to meet my potential, thinking about how I can contribute and serve in my field. The second feeling that I'm going after is excitement. You know, the excitement to get closer to future phases of my research projects, to make a difference in my field and in my community, and to come up with new ideas and ways of thinking that incorporate creativity and innovation. The third feeling I'm going after is gratitude. I want to feel gratitude for the learning and skills I am gaining and for the opportunity to be a part of this PhD program, which is essentially acting as a vehicle for all of this. I want to feel gratitude for the gift of time also, you know, just to be able to learn and grow today. Finally, I am going after joy. I want to feel joyful about the opportunity to learn new things in relation to topics that I'm deeply interested in. I want the sense of growing and developing in my skills and knowledge as a person and as a scholar to bring me a sense of joy. I also want to be able to appreciate and just really enjoy the coziness of the study environment. In terms of the types of energy I want to experience when I'm finished with a writing or study session, the first thing is a strong sense of curiosity to learn more about one or more topics or skills. So just really having a sense of what I'd like to learn and do next. I also want to feel grateful again for the gift of time that I got to engage in this learning and development. I want to experience a sense of accomplishment, just really feeling like I did my best during that time. I want to feel a sense of calm and that I enjoyed the coziness of that writing environment or study environment. I want to be looking forward to my next writing or study session and just feel further inspired to continue my work. This idea of setting positive intentions before you write or study really reminds me a lot of what it means to be in the zone as an athlete, and that's something that comes up in Brendon's book. For me, it brings back memories of warming up before a figure skating test or competition. Picture this, if you will. You're essentially out there warming up your jumps and spins alongside 5 other skaters. The judges are already sitting in their seats, the audience is there, your coaches are there. You know you're about to be judged. So you have a choice. Either you adopt a mindset, that's really focused on the fact that you're about to be judged and ranked vis-a-vis your fellow skaters, or you adopt a mindset of being really excited to share your art, the results of your hard work, and that you're going to be doing this to the best of your ability. The test or competition results are going to be whatever they are. In the meantime, you know what feelings you're going to go after the minute you step out onto that ice. Now, some of my profs will laugh if they see this because they know I love a good figure skating metaphor when it comes to academia, but think about it. Were you ever involved in a performance-based sport or artistic endeavor? If so, can you think of any skills that might transfer well to preparing for and navigating writing and studying sessions? If so, I'd love to hear what comes to mind. Please let me know in the comment section below. In summary, when you enter a writing or study session, I encourage you to get excited to share your art, your craft, your ideas, the results of your hard work. I encourage you to go after curiosity, joy, excitement, gratitude, and feeling a sense of accomplishment. Make something, a document, or some other thing that will cue you to remember what you perceive to be the real purpose of your writing and your studying. Hopefully, if you can cue yourself on a regular basis to be thinking about the true purpose from your perspective of your writing and your study sessions, then not only will you enjoy everything that much more, but if some of those, more challenging or negative emotions or thoughts come up, it will be easier to sort of manage them, and maybe, just maybe, there's a greater chance of them fading into the background. Or if they do come up, at least you'll have a tool that you can use to help you with redirecting your thinking. I'd love to hear more about what feelings and energy you're going after in your own writing and studying sessions. Also, what tools are you using to remind yourself of your intentions prior to going into those sessions? Please feel free to share about these things in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up or a like on YouTube so that others who share our interests will know that it's a good video that they should check out. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed thus far to my channel. It really means a lot to me. And if you'd like, let's stay in touch in between videos. You can find me on Instagram. My handle is @PhD Essentials. Until next time, wishing you a beautiful and productive week. Bye, friends.